jukebox is blowing a fuse. The temperature is rising and the jukebox is blowing a fuse. Roll over Beethoven, tell Tchaikovsky the news. Like a spinning top. Yeah, she winks like a glowworm, spins like a spinning top. She's got a jumping little partner, and you ought to see him reel and rock. As long as she's got a dime, the music never stops. Welcome to the Red Clay Music Foundry. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. Appreciate you being here in person, live, with your real faces and your real stuff. I love it. That's great. Now, I know that you've been coached as you were coming in the building about what's okay and what's not okay. Once you get to your seat, as long as you're 6 feet away from those other people, which is what you should be unless they're in your group, you're welcome to take the mask off while you're there. You're welcome. However, if you get up and go to the lobby, you got to put that mask back on. Sorry about that, but you got to. We sanitize daily. We do all the things we're supposed to do. We've got you spaced out the way you're supposed to be spaced out, I hope. And if not, I'm going to pretend that you are. So there you go. Yep, spaced out. So anyway, but thank you so much for taking the courage to come out to a live show. I've only known these boys for about 1,000 years, and I love them so much. They're such good friends and such good pals, and we have fun together. And they play good music, and it's fun. And I'm going to tell you right now, they've put together this little show tonight that's going to be really cool. It's sort of a tribute show, and they're going to do a segmented thing, and it's going to be, you just figure it out as it goes. But it's going to be very, very cool. And you folks watching online at EOP Live on YouTube, thank you to you. Thank you for being there. I saw there's about 30 of you out there, and what I need you to do right now is to send something to your friends and your neighbors and your family. Send a smoke signal out and tell them to tune on in on EOP Live on YouTube. There is a tip jar there. We strongly encourage you to tip more than you can afford. That's what we want you to do. If you've got $1 million, we want you to tip 999,000 of that tonight, right now. That'd be awesome, because we're all struggling to stay alive and trying to figure out how to stay alive. One of the things that Jumbo and Burgess done since they were here last time is they put together a little record, and it's available to purchase this evening. It's called Perfectly Imperfect, which is a great. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
All right. It's a great title for a record from these boys, and they need each of you to take one home with you tonight. If you folks watching online want to get one, well, shame on you. You should have been here. Or they can tell you how to get it online. I don't know how, but maybe they can tell you later. But it's going to be a fun show, and I'm just tickled pink you guys are here. Thank you so much. If you do go to the lobby, please remember, mask on, mask off. Mask on, mask off. Mask on, mask off. So, please do that. Thank you. And we're going to take your comments, you guys online, and we'll pass them along to the band as we go along this evening. So
yeah, you are going to man the request line, aren't you, Eddie?
I am.
I am.
All right. So thank y'all so much for being here. Thank you. Sound like you're 1,000 people now, and give a nice welcome to Banks and Shane.
Hello, buckaroos. It's your old buddies Banks and Shane. Gonna try and slide one by you once more. It don't matter how you do it. You just do it like you know what you're doing. We've been down this road once or twice before. Just getting by on getting by is our stock and trade. Living it day to day. Picking up the pieces wherever they fall. Just letting it roll, letting the high times carry the low. And we're living our life easy come, easy go. Seems like only yesterday we rolled into this town. Band of pickers nobody ever heard of before. Now we're all sporting beer bellies. We got some glasses and a bunch of gray hairs. We've been down this road a few times before. Just getting by on getting by is our stock and trade. Living it day to day. Picking up the pieces wherever they fall. Just letting it roll, letting the high times carry the low. And we're living our life easy come, easy go. Play one, Jimmy, go. Just getting by on getting by is our stock and trade. Living it day to day. Picking up the pieces wherever they fall. Just letting it roll, letting the high times carry the low. We're living our life easy come, easy go. Well, you know, y'all, it's been over 40 years now. We're still kicking and picking. But dang, y'all have gotten old. Well, I'm no spring chicken either. My dance card has sure been punched. Been down this road once or twice before. Just getting by on getting by is our stock and trade. Living it day to day. Picking up pieces wherever they fall. Just letting it roll, letting the high times carry the low. And we're living our life easy come, easy go. Oh, that's right. Just getting by on getting by is our stock and trade. Living it day to day. Picking up pieces wherever they fall. Just letting it roll, letting the high times carry the low. And we're living our life easy come, easy go. We're living our life easy come, easy go. Well, hey, thank y'all very much. You sound like
twice as many people as you really are. Thank you very much.
I know I said this last time we streamed a show under these circumstances, but it seems even more appropriate tonight. Did you all come in one car? Well, you know, we're getting by the best we can. I kind of like that song. And we're going to do something a little bit different tonight. We'd like to pay tribute to some of the folks that have influenced us and that we admired starting out and admire to this day. And Jerry Jeff Walker is one of those. I don't know if y'all know, but a couple weeks ago we lost Jerry Jeff, and he was such an incredible performer.
He was a good one.
And he had a colorful history, too, colorful stories. And this next song,
proof right there.
Yeah, back in the late 60s, Jerry was a street singer in New Orleans, and a young fella from Mobile area, Jimmy Buffett, was singing in a little bar in New Orleans, and they got to be friends. And one night, Jerry runs in, and Jimmy's playing at a little club, and Jerry runs in and says, "Come on." Said, "It's the last running of the Pan American from New Orleans to Nashville. We're getting on that train." And it was Jimmy Buffett and Jerry Jeff and a bottle of Wild Turkey whiskey. And they rode all night to get to Nashville from New Orleans and came up with this song. And the story goes on. A couple years later, Buffett got his record deal and made an album called White Sport Coat and a Pink Crustacean. And he called Jerry and he said, "You know, Jerry Jeff," he said, "they're going to put our song on my new record." And Jerry Jeff says, "What song?" And Jimmy says, "You know, the song we wrote on the train." And Jerry says, "What train?" But anyway, we're gonna sing some Jerry Jeff Walker songs, and then we're gonna move along and do some Mac McAnally songs, and then we're going to wind up with our striped shirts and a wardrobe change. That's something that's pretty unusual for our band. We usually change wardrobes once a week.
There's plenty of room for your requests. So just keep that in mind.
Out there in TV land, too. So.
TV land. That's what Jerry Jeff used to do before his songs. He'd do that. And then he'd play, and his guitar was way out of tune, and he didn't care.
She's a railroad lady, just a little bit shady, spent all her life on them trains. She's a semi-good looker, but the fast rails they took her. Now she's just trying to get home again. South Station in Boston to the stockyards of Austin, Florida sunshine in the New Orleans rain. Now the fast trails are packing, I can't remember this part. Try to get home again. She's a railroad lady, just a little bit shady, spent all her life on them trains. She's a semi-good looker, but the fast rails that took her. Now she's just trying to get home again. Chuck Shane on the harp. He just did that so I could remember the words. Once a highballing loner thought he could own her. He bought her a fur coat and a big diamond ring. She hacked him for fast cash, left town on the Wabash, never thinking about being back home again. She's a railroad lady, just a little bit shady, spent all her life on them trains. She's semi-good looker, but the fast rails a took her. He's trying, just trying to get home again. I need another little respite, Charlie. Chuck chain. Now the old rails are rusty, the dining car's dusty. Gold-plated watches have taken their toll. The railroads are dying, and the lady, she's crying. On the bus to Kentucky, that's her goal. She's a railroad lady, just a little bit shady. Spent all her life on in train. Once a Pullman car traveler, now the brakeman won't have her. She's trying, just trying to get home again. Let's do it again. Y'all sing it with us. Come on. She's a railroad lady, just a little bit shady. Spent all her life on them trains. She's a semi-good looker, but the fast rails, they took her. Now she's trying, just trying to get home again. Yeah, she's trying, just trying to get home again.
Railroad lady.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's a first right there.
We, good gosh, for the last 40 years or so, we've been going out in January to Steamboat Springs. And about the first time we were out there, Larry Mahan, who was at that time a 6-time all-around cowboy rodeo champion, come up to Steamboat, and they organized this event called the Cowboy Downhill, and they would bring 100 rodeo cowboys up from Denver during the Denver Stock Show to ski a ski race cowboy style in Steamboat Springs.
You got to see that.
And we were very fortunate, you know, to have been involved in this thing for years and years. But about 10 or 15 years ago was the 40th anniversary of this thing, and all the famous rodeo, the young kids were the skiers, but all the old-time rodeo cowboys came out. And we had just learned this song. It's a Jerry Jeff song called Let the Ponies Run. It's about old friendships and old cowboys getting together and spinning yarns. And
life on the circuit.
Yeah. And it was amazing because we're playing in this room, and like I said, we had just learned this song, and we're looking around and saying, well, shit, half the guys in this song are sitting out in this room, you know. And it was so exciting for us. It was just a great time. But this is one of our favorite songs, and it's called "Let the Ponies Run."
One more time.
All right.
2, 3.
At a funeral and a rake at the Diamondback Saloon, with every old-time cowboy gathered in one room, swapping tales and telling lies of days when we were young, fearless buckaroos who always let the ponies run. I still see us behind the chutes, standing in the sun, light reflecting off those shining buckles that we'd won. Farming boys from everywhere, just a roping in our dreams, bucking down the highway in old trucks and faded jeans. Cheyenne days, the Fort Worth nights, we drove every inch of road. Often spoke our dreams out loud, sharing rooms and dirty clothes. busted up and broken ones, too tough to ever cry. When we won the big go-round, the drinks were ours to buy.
Our days were spent with mundane chores that kept us lean and mean. But our nights were spent out dancing with the fairest girls we'd seen, regaling them with wild-ass tales that weren't that far from true. There weren't a single favor asked that your old buddy wouldn't do.
Every year the finals drew us back to OKC. Shoulders, Mahan, Steiner, Bowl, T-Bone, and Old Duffy. When the dust had settled and the last go-round was run, we stayed up all night singing songs till every song was sung.
Broken bones and broken hearts soon led to broken homes. Trails we rode together, we now travel down alone. And the friends we saw each summer now we hardly saw at all. A little something's broken off each time a cowboy falls. So adios, amigos, I'll see you down the line. I sure enjoyed the bullshit 'cause it brought back some great times. And if you see those pals we knew from days when we were young, tell them I still saddle up just to feel the ponies run. Woo-hoo. Woo-hoo. Good one.
Oh, there, big feller.
That's a good one.
That's a good one, all right.
This song written by Ian Tyson, but we first heard Jerry Jeff sing it. And Paulie took me for, I can't remember which birthday it was. It was a long time ago. took me to see Jerry Jeff Walker come
It was
to
double
Atlanta.
digits, I know.
Oh my gosh, what fun. And he sang this song and everybody knew it except us. And the next day we said, well, damn, we got to learn that one.
And later, after the concert, we were driving around the back of the theater, and he was getting on his bus, and we saw old Jerry Jeff. He gave us a wave. He was a good fella.
It wasn't exactly a wave. It was
It was some kind of signal he gave us.
Well, it's 2 eggs up on whiskey toast, home fries on the side. Wash her down with the Roadhouse coffee, it burns up your inside. Just a canyon Colorado diner, waitress I did love. And I sat in the back neath an old stuffed bear and a worn out Navajo rug. Well, old Jack the boss, he quit at 6, then it's Katie barred the door. She pulled down that Navajo rug and spread it across the floor. I saw lightning cross the sacred mountain, saw a woman turtle dove lying next to Katie on that old Navajo rug. Ay, 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 Katie, she's the red and blue. Ay, 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 Katie, whatever became of the Navajo rug and you. Katie, she's the red and blue. Well, I saw Jack about a year ago. Said, place burnt down. Katie, she got her souvenir too. Oh, Katie, she left town. Wait, let me do that verse again. All right, try that. Well, I saw Jack about a year ago. Said the place burned to the ground. All they said was an old bare tooth, and Katie, she left town. Should have seen her coming. She's got a big old tobacco plug. She was coming through the smoke, bringing that Navajo rug. Ay, 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 Katie, shades of red and blue. Ay, 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 Katie, whatever became of the Navajo rug and you? Katie, shades of red and blue. Play one, Jimmy. Every time I cross the sacred mountains, lightning breaks above. It always takes me back in time to my long-lost Katie love. You know, everything keeps on moving. Everybody's on the go. They don't make things that last anymore like a double-woman Navajo. Ay, ay, ay. Come on, y'all. Katie, she's the red and blue. Ay, ay, ay. Katie, whatever became of the Navajo rug and you? Katie, she's the red and blue. Ay, ay, ay. Katie, she's the red and blue. Ay, ay, ay. Katie, whatever became of the Navajo rug and you? Katie, she's the red and blue. Ay, ay, ay. Katie. Thank you. Were y'all singing out there?
Yeah.
Shalom, give me a little more guitar, please, in the monitor. Thanks.
Starts with a little bar. I should know that. A little bar in Texas. Dark and dusty day. Cowboy coming off the road just to pass the time away. He pulled a stool up to the bar, pushed his hat back on his head. I listened to the stories told, the words the cowboy said. He said,
I could tell you stories about the Indians on the plain. Talk about Wells Fargo and the coming of the train. Talk about the slaughter of them buffaloes that roam. Sing a song about settlers come out looking for a home. And the man with the big hat is buying. Drink up while the drinking is free. Drink up to the cowboys, dead or a dying. Drink to my compadres and me. Drink to my compadres and me. Well, his hat was big and white. Shirt was, dadgummit. Let me try this here. Forgot what he looked like, did you?
No, I did. It was a dusty day in a little bar in Texas. That might explain some of it. Well, his pants were old and faded. His hat was white and black. Pants that once were blue or gray, they had a pocket gone and back. He had a finger missing from the hand that rolled the smoke. And as he laughed and talked of the cowboy life, you knew it weren't no joke.
I seen the day so hot that your pony could not stand. And if your water bag was dry, you can't count upon the land. And winters, I've seen winters when your boots froze in the snow. Your only thought was leaving, but you had no place to go. Well, the man with the big hat is buying. Drink up while the drinking is free. Drink up to the cowboys, dead or a dying. Drink to my compadres and me. Drink to my compadres and me. He sat easy at the bar with his boot upon the rail.
as he laughed and talked of times he'd had while living on the trail. The silence had never broken as the words poured from his lips, just as quiet as the 45 that he carried on his hip. He said,
Rode on a cattle drive all the way to San Antonio. 10 days in the saddle, weary to the bone. Rode all the way to Wichita without a woman's smile. And the campfire where I cooked my beans was the only light for miles. Well, the man with the big hat is mine. Drink up while the drinking is free. Drink up to the cowboys, dead or a-dying. Drink to my compadres and me. Drink to my compadres and me. Well, he rolled one more cigarette as he turned toward the door. I could hear his spurs a-jingling as his boot heels hit the floor. Tightened up his belt a notch, put his hat back on his head, and said goodbye to me. This is what the cowboy said. Now the high lines chase the highways, and the fences close the range. And to see a working cowboy, that's a sight that's mighty strange. Cowboy's life was only, but his life was not the best. But if it had not been for men like me, you would not have no West. And the man with the big hat is buying. Drink up while the drinking is free. Drink up to the cowboys, dead or a-dying. Drink to my compadres and me. Drink to my compadres and me. So we did, all night long. Thank you. Ah, a little cowboy song
Yeah.
for you. Mm-hmm.
Eddie, come on up here.
Oh, here he comes. Mask or no mask? Can you still get up this stage like that? Okay.
We're going to tell a story. We have a couple of stories to tell. First of all, you guys need to know that Jackie and Bruce, Trish, Jim Price, Emerson Dickey, Jay DeKemper, Shannon Scott, Dan, Mary Shepard, Virginia McCleskey have tipped generously.
Nice.
Oh,
More than
all
generously.
right.
Over the top.
All right, y'all. Y'all are the best.
And some of those folks have made requests for Pirate Looks at 40 of the Atheist song Rocky Top, which, by the way, unless you're going to pay, I'm going to pay $100 to not hear Rocky Top. So if you want to hear Rocky Top, you're going to have to pay at least $200.
I promised some people yesterday that we weren't going to do Rocky Top.
Counterfeit cowboy.
How much did you pay them?
There you go. So anyway, Burge asked me to come up and give this little story about Jerry Jeff because I'm very fortunate. I'm very lucky. I've been blessed to know a lot of folks that are songwriters and players and pickers, and JJ was one of them. And one time he came to Decatur, and we did this little show down at the Avondale Town Cinema. And then we came back to the trackside where I was working at the time. This was before I even opened Eddie's Attic. And we came back to the trackside, and we were sitting around, and we were going to play golf the next day at East Lake because I was a big golfer, and he's a big golfer. And we were going to play at East Lake because that's before Mr. Cousins bought it. Now, I joined East Lake for $500, and I paid $35 a month to be a member. Now, it ain't that way anymore, but that's the way it was in those days. But he knew about Donald Ross, and he knew about the history of the course and Bobby Jones, and he wanted to go see the golf course. And I said, yeah, we'll go play Jerry Jeff. So So it got to be a little late, and then it got to be a little later, and it just so happened the night he was playing at Avondale Town Cinema, Amy Ray and Emily Salyers, the Indigo Girls, were playing at the trackside. And so when he came back with his entourage, which was just Danny, his road manager, and the pilot flying the little plane that they drove in, when they got back to the trackside, pretty much everybody was gone except for me and Amy and Emily. And so we sat around, we started drinking, and we started passing the guitar around, and everybody was taking a pull. And everybody was taking a pull on the whiskey, and everybody was taking a pull on the guitar. And it was fun, and we had a great time. And all of a sudden, it was like 5 in the morning. And JJ says, well, are we going to still play golf? And I said, well, I tell you what. The greenskeeper is Roy Nash, and he lives right there on the golf course. And we can go right now and knock on his door and probably get a golf cart, and we can just play with no clubs. And we'll just go and we'll play every shot. He said, that sounds like a great idea. So I went and knocked on Roy's door. Now, Roy was a member of a bicycle group that drove bicycles with motors. And he had really long hair and a lot of tattoos and wore a vest. And when he came to the door, I heard this ch-ch. And I'm like, because at that point in time, Eastlake is a great community right now. But at that point in time, it wasn't such a great community. So anyway, I said, Roy, it's Eddie. It's Eddie. Don't shoot. And he opened the door, and he said, what the hell are you doing here at 5 in the morning? I said, well, I got this friend out here who wants to see the golf course, and we're not going to be able to play. We just need to ride around and see it and play like we're playing. We're going to pretend we're playing. And he said, oh, what? And I said, well, it's Jerry Jeff Walker. What? It's JJ? It's Jerry Jeff Walker? Because all the bikers love Jerry Jeff. So anyway, I said, yeah. So he said, well, hell yeah, come on. So we got back in my truck, and we drove down to the cart barn, and Roy met us down there, and he got us a cart, and we put it, we loaded up in the cart, and we took off to number 1 tee. Now, number 1 now is what used to be number 10, but now it's number 1. In the old days, it was number 1. So we started playing, and we hit every shot, number 1 all the way through. About number 7, Roy caught us, and he had a cooler, like a huge cooler, with like 3 cases of Budweiser in it. And he said, you mind if I ride along with y'all? And I looked at JJ, and he looks at me, and I'm like, no, we don't mind. So we played 18 holes, every single shot without a golf club.
What'd you shoot?
I shot 73. He shot 68, and he nipped me. There you go. That's the true story. True story, real story.
I wish I'd have been with you.
Champagne don't hurt me, baby. Cocaine gon' drive me crazy. It ain't nobody's business but mine. Way down in Costa Rica, smoke my hash and drink my liquor. It ain't nobody's business but mine.
Well, tell us all about it, would you?
Got the good life down in Belize. They let folks do just as they please, and it ain't nobody's business but mine. Got a hammock strung between 2 trees. Got a jug of Dom and a big old spleen. It ain't nobody's business but mine. All right. Champagne don't hurt me, baby. Cocaine don't drive me crazy. It ain't nobody's business but mine. Yeah, way down in Costa Rica, smoke my hash and drink my liquor. It ain't nobody's business but mine. Play one. Nobody's business, kid. Who in the world to do business with? It ain't nobody's business but mine. Lord, it ain't nobody's business. sonny, where in the world I spend my money. It ain't nobody's business but mine. That's right. Champagne don't hurt me, baby. Cocaine don't drive me crazy. It ain't nobody's business but mine. Yeah, way down in Costa Rica, smoke my hash and drink my liquor. It ain't nobody's business but mine. Your turn. Drink your wine, those narco boys, they'll treat you fine. It ain't nobody's business but mine. Smoke that pot or smoke that hash, they'll find out where the good stuff's at. It ain't nobody's business but mine. Yes, sir. Champagne don't hurt me, baby. Cocaine don't drive me crazy. It ain't nobody's business but mine. Way down in Costa Rica, smoke my hash and drink my liquor. It ain't nobody's business, but look out, y'all. Well, champagne don't hurt me, baby. Cocaine don't drive me crazy. It ain't nobody's business but mine. Yeah, way down in Costa Rica, smoke my hash and drink my liquor. It ain't nobody's business but mine. Well, ain't nobody's business, oh, ain't nobody's business but mine. It's really on my phone. Business but mine. Said it ain't nobody business but mine. Oh, let's hear it for the orchestra.
Golly.
Yes.
Yep, all these are Jerry Jeff songs. You believe that? This is the one. He was kind of a cowboy folk singer, and all of a sudden, a fellow named Ray Wiley Hubbard wrote a song that he recorded, and he went from kind of a local singer to the big time. Goes kind of like this.
There's a part for you to sing along, so join
He was born in Oklahoma, and his wife's name was Betty Lou Thelma Liz. He's not responsible for what he's doing. His mother made him what he is. When it's up against the wall, your redneck mother who has raised his son so well. He's 34 and drinking in a honky-tonk, just kicking hippies' asses and raising hell. But he sure does love his Falstaff beer. He'll chase it down with some wild turkey liquor. He got a 57 GMC pickup truck with a gun rack and a Trump 2024 sticker on it. And it's up against the wall, your redneck mother. Are you kidding me? Poor mother who has raised his son so well. So what? He's 34, drinking in a honky-tonk, just kicking hippies' asses and raising hell. Come on, Jimmy, play it.
for the mud flaps on his pickup truck. And O is for the oil he puts on his hair. T is for pterodactyl.
That starts with a P.
H. Who cares? E is for Eddie. And R is for redneck. And he's up against the boy, redneck mother. Oh, mother, who has raised his son so well. So well. He's 34 and drinking in a honky. Let's do it again. Just kicking, hitting his ass and raising. Come on, all together one more time. And he's up against the wall, redneck mother. Yes, mother, who has raised his son so well. What's he doing? He's 34, drinking in a honky tonk. What you doing there? He's just kicking, hitting his ass and raising hell. Where's all this happening? In Muskogee, Oklahoma, USA. All right, we're getting towards the end here of the Jerry Jeff segment, but y'all can sing along with this one too. This is an anthem. An anthem. When you're down on your luck, you ain't got a buck. London, you're a goner. And even London Bridge is falling down. Moved to Arizona now, I know why. And I could substantiate the rumor, the English sense of humor is drier than West Texas sand. You could put up your dukes, bet your boots, I believe in this as fast as I can. Come on. I wanna go home with the armadillo. Good country music from Aberle and Abilene. With the friendliest people and the prettiest women you've ever seen. Let's do that again. Y'all gotta sing it loud. Ready? I wanna go home with the armadillo. Good country music from Aberle and Abilene. Friendliest people. With the friendliest people and the prettiest women you've ever seen. Well, it's cold over here, and I swear, I wish they would turn the heat on. Where in the world is that English girl I promised I would meet on the 3rd floor? And of the whole damn lot, the only friends I got are smoke and a cheap guitar. My mind is roaming, my heart is longing to be home in a Texas bar. Come on, everybody now. I wanna go home with the armadillo. Good country music from Aberle and Abilene. With the friendliest people and prettiest women you've ever seen. Well, I thought that I'd get my cowboy hat, mosey down to Marble Arch Station. 'Cause when a Texan fancies to take some chances, fancy chances will be taken, and that's for sure. And all them limey eyes, they were eyeing the prize some people call manly footwear. They said, you're from down south, and when you open your mouth, you always seem to put your foot there. I wanna go home with the armadillo. Good country music from Aberle and Abilene. With the friendliest people and the prettiest women you've ever seen. Let's do it again, y'all. Oh, I wanna go home with the armadillo. Good country music from Aberle and with the friendliest people and the prettiest women you've ever seen. Oh, yes.
How you'll all remember this one?
I reckon this is the best one. I read that somewhere in the late 60s, Jerry Jeff was a street musician in New Orleans. I mean, sitting on a street corner and people putting money in his guitar case. One night after he collected all his coins and dollars out of the guitar case, he was heading for the Café Du Monde. And on the way in, he saw this beautiful girl. And he said, I don't know if you believe in love at first sight, but I love you. She said, leave me alone. So he went inside and kept that argument going, asking everybody there if they believed in love at first sight. I think he ended up getting on a table. That was right about the time 2 New Orleans police officers showed up. He said, do y'all believe in love at first sight? They said, get off the table. Well, he resisted and ended up in jail, drunk tank. And there was an old street singer in the cell with him, and that was kind of the basis of the song. They got talking. The old guy was so upset about his dog that he traveled around with him, and the old dog had died. He still wasn't over it. I knew a man, Bojangles, and he danced for you. He wore out shoes, silver hair, ragged shirt, baggy pants. He did the old soft shoe. He jumped so high, Dan slapped his heels and step. Met him in a cell in New Orleans I was, when I was down and out. He looked at me to be the eyes of age, as he spoke right out. He talked of his life, Dan slapped his heels in step. Said his name, Bojangles, and he danced a lick across the cell. Grabbed his pants in a feather stand, so he jumped so high. Then he clicked his heels. He let go a laugh, oh, he let go a laugh. Shook back his clothes all around. Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, dance. He danced for those at the minstrel shows and county fairs throughout the South. Spoke with tears of 15 years, how an old dog and him, they traveled about. Well, his dog up and died, he up and died. And after 20 years, he still grieves. Said now I dance at every chance at the honky-tonks for drinks and tips. Most times I spends behind these county bars. He says I drink some bit. Then he shook his head, and as he shook his head, I heard someone ask him, please, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, dance. Come on and dance. Jerry Jeff Walker,
The one and only. Now we've had requests too. Why don't you get your banjo? Let's do a couple requests.
all right.
We had a request for a little. we had a little request. The reason he does that throat thing because he has a bad connection to his guitar. When he unplugs it, it makes a noise, and he thinks he's fooling the sound man by. Everybody knows, don't they, Shalom?
So what are we doing?
Is that why he was doing that? Oh my
What are we
God.
doing here? Oh, wow, this is great. John Stewart. Yeah, one of our...
Yeah, we had a request to do this. Normally, we hear the request that sounds kind of like this.
Play
July,
Wild
damn it.
Flower, and there's that other one.
July Your Woman, one of our all-time favorite songs.
Yes, man, yes.
I can't hold it on the road when you're sitting here beside me and I'm drunk out of my mind, merely from the fact that you are here. And I have not been known as a saint of San Joaquin, but I just as soon right now pull on over to the side of the road and show you what I mean. La da 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 da, la da 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 da. July, you're a woman more than anyone I've ever known. And I can't keep my eyes on the white line out before me when your hand is on my collar and you're talking in my ear. Well, I once ran around with a gypsy gal named Shannon, daughter of the devil. It is strange that I should mention that to you. I haven't thought of her in years. La da 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 da, la da 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 da. July, you're a woman more than anyone I've ever known. Sitting here beside me and I'm drunk out of my mind, merely from the fact that you are here. When I once been known as a saint of San Joaquin, but I just as soon right now pull on over to the side of the road and show you what I mean. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. July, you're a woman more than anyone I've ever known. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. July, you're a woman more than anyone I've ever known. July, you're a woman more than anyone I've ever. July, you're a woman more than anyone I've ever known.
Oh, that's a good one. Hey, thank you. Why don't we do some of your songs?
Sure.
Yeah.
I have so many. Which ones?
Well, there's one.
All of them.
Yeah, all of them. Well, we got 5 minutes or so. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, about every 10 years or so, we sit right down and write a song. I'm telling you. Very prolific.
Give me this note, would you?
Which one would you like to do first? The one with the banjo, I
Yeah,
assume.
this is a great song Paul wrote, and it's about this guy and his girl, and he loved her all of his life, and then they finally got together, and it was just really cool.
Why do you feel the need to explain the whole song before we sing it? Why don't you just tell the title of the song and then?
All right.
And then.
All right. You have to embarrass me in front of these people. I mean, there are not many of them, but still.
No, and you're doing a pretty damn good job yourself.
Well, this is a great song. It's called "The Guy Who Had His Girlfriend." And finally, he got her, and blues.
Is it blue? Is it a blues song?
Maybe.
I take it as a great compliment that he's tuning his banjo before one of my songs. That's
Better than afterwards.
Right. Or during.
Or during,
oh, that
yeah.
thing. I should have tuned that up. That really sounded bad.
Ready? Yeah. Not quite.
Good time to go out and get a beer if you're watching on YouTube. You know what it means when the banjo player is drooling out of both sides of his mouth? It means the stage is level. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I overheard your conversation. You're gonna be leaving this old town. Your friends all smile in admiration. You say you're gonna take a look around. I'll be the train that takes you through the valley. I'll make that old steam whistle moan. I'll take you to the far side of the mountains, and I will take you home. The man you thought you loved has left you. You never loved that man at all. For years I watched you stand beside him. Now here I stand to catch you if you fall. I'll be the ship that takes you on the ocean. I'll keep you safe and dry and warm. I'll take you far across the water, and I will take you home. I wonder if you've ever noticed. I wonder if you could have seen. I've been in love with you since August of the year that I turned 17. I'll be your lookout on the ocean. I'll be the friend you've never known. I'll be your shelter when the winds are blowing, and I will take you home. I'll take you home, take you home. Come on home. I will take you home. I'll take you home. Yeah, I will.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
This is the first song Paul ever wrote, and we put it on our very first record. No, we put it on our second record.
Second record.
Second record. And it's about, never mind.
And Chuck's sister and my sister, our sister, put 4 French horn parts on the recording, and I wish we could slow it down because we did everything real fast back then. But it's pretty cool. 4 French horns and a banjo.
Shalom. There we go.
Flew in last Thursday morning, feeling high to get back home. 7 years was long enough to ease my mind. My hat went flying higher than my thoughts as I stepped down, and I searched the anxious faces for the love I left behind. My searching found the tear-stained, smiling face I knew so well. Thought of all the years she'd spent waiting for me, but her first words told of times that changed and things I did not know. And I got to feeling deep inside that soon I'd have to go. And I don't really want to go home, but I wouldn't like to stay away. So I'll spend my nights in the middle of nowhere, waiting for a somewhere day. And when it comes, I'll just leave the past behind. I'll put everything I own in a brown paper sack, and I doubt if I'll ever come back. The chains I left behind me caused me pain and distant dreams. No man nor gun could ever make me pass that way again. But the chains I feel around me cause me deeper pain, it seems. The freedom that I've waited for imprisons me within. And I don't really want to go home, but I wouldn't like to stay away. So I'll spend my nights in the middle of nowhere, waiting for a somewhere day. And when it comes, I'll just leave the past behind. I'll put everything I own in a brown paper sack, and I doubt if I'll ever come back. And when it comes, I'll just leave the past behind. I'll put everything I own in a brown paper sack, and I doubt if I'll ever come back.
All right. Yes, sir. All right.
Thanks. Yeah. This song, written by Paul Shane,
He's going to tell a little story.
it is a little bit. It's only a little backstory. This song is the result of years and years and years and years of exhaustive research. The song is called One Night Stand. And it goes like, this.
Oh, 49 damn long years. I slipped up on the bar stool at the crystal chandelier, scanning the faces in the room. Thought I'd come to dance, I was looking for romance, I was jumping at the chance to have a one-night stand. She slipped into the booth back in the corner of the room. On Friday she showed off her broken heart. The whiskey and the music fade the memory of a man. She never thought she'd wind up as a one-night stand. But I drank until I wasn't feeling shy. She drank till she could look me in the eye. And we went through the motions, drinking magic potions, trying to be like lovers, but we weren't in love. She slipped into that nightgown that she'd ordered through the mail. I slipped in between her satin sheets. Reckless desperation, caution to the wind. We opened up our hearts and let a stranger in. We slip into the porch swing almost every afternoon. We always share that glass of lemonade. Silver anniversary, and we're still holding hands. And we smile when we talk about that one night stand. When I drank until I wasn't feeling shy. She drank till she could look me in the eye. And we went through the motions, drinking magic potions, trying to be like lovers, but we weren't in love. Yes, we went through the motions, drinking magic potions, trying to be like lovers, and we fell in love. And one more, we back in 1979. We took a little sailing trip.
Yes, sir.
That was the first whaling sail with Banks and Chain. We went down to the Grenadine Islands, showed the people down there, was kind of a cultural exchange, showed the people down there the true meaning of the word redneck.
Oh, yeah.
Or the red word neck.
The red word neck.
Yeah, that too.
Okay, Mom.
Yeah. So, I got home so inspired.
He wrote.
So hungover.
It's cool because we were sailing for a couple weeks, and we got on the airplane in Martinique, and it was about 83 degrees, and we flew to Steamboat Springs, Colorado, where it was like 23 below when we got there, and it was really fun though because when we got in the hot tub, we were the only people whose tan went below here. But it was fun. I think you started writing that song out there in Colorado.
I lost a lot of weight that first few days because I lost about 8 layers of skin.
All right, Caribbean. There we go, boys. Ready? Yo. 1, 2, 3, 4. We took a trip down to the islands in the middle of the winter time. 7 sailors, a 40-foot boat, a ton of beer to cool your throat, sailing all day to make it to Beckway, dropping the anchor, drinking Mount Gay rum, singing island songs, playing sloppy guitar, eating peanuts out of a Heineken jar. You won't believe what you'll see in the water, the wind, and the sky. When you're in the Caribbean, it's hard to say goodbye, because the water will soothe you, the wind will move you. You'll get lost in the blue of the sky. In the Caribbean, you'll hate to leave it, it's hard to say goodbye. Spearing with snapper, diving the wreck, pulling in late, swabbing the deck. A rum in the shower, cotton pants white, jump up St. Vincent Saturday night, talking to sailors from all over the world, dancing with the Caribbean girls, staying out late, but rising to watch the sunrise over Duvernay Rock. Well, you won't believe what you're seeing, the water, the wind, and the sky. When you're in the Caribbean, it's hard to say goodbye. All right. Hard to imagine how the time has run, making in the Caribbean sun. But we'll be back, you probably knew that, every year till the sun goes black. Well, you won't believe what you'll see, and no, the water, the wind, and the sky. Oh, when you're in the Caribbean, it's hard to say goodbye, because the water will soothe you, the wind will move you. You'll get lost in the blue of the sky. In the Caribbean, you'll hate to leave it, it's hard to say goodbye. Yes, it's the Caribbean, you'll hate to leave it, it's hard to say goodbye. Yes, it's so hard to say goodbye.
So we didn't.
So, Eddie, I mean, how do we have to stop at any certain time, or can we keep playing, or is our slot?
Do we have a slot?
We have a tea time at
East Lake
8:40.
at 5:45.
8:40. No, 8:40. So you can play till, let's see, we got to get there. We got to change clothes. We got to warm up.
7:30?
You can play till 7 o'clock.
Okay, good, perfect.
Shalom, could you turn this monitor up some, please?
So we're moving towards Mac McAnally. And we met Mac back when we had our club in Sandy Springs, and he played there several times in the 80s. And one of the greatest songwriters, one of the greatest guitar players.
And nicest people.
Yeah, and we're very fortunate that we have become friends over the years, and we're going to do some Mac songs. This was the first one is a song that I guess it was on his first record. The first time we heard this was in the late 70s. We were probably in Texas someplace. And we said, holy cow, that guy is just remarkable. And it's pretty good
he
song.
plays guitar so well that we don't even try to play it that well.
Anyway, Opinion on Love.
Yeah, this goes out to Anna. She might be watching tonight. This is her favorite song. Well, they met her in the winter of the 7th grade, and they swore that they were in love. And he held her hand in an oak tree shade. At the time, that was enough. And they stood and they kissed for a minute, and he saw her 3 times a week. And it made him feel so good he could not speak. And the strength that grew between them made him weak. So he left her in the summer of her junior year when he felt a little more secure. And when the sun came out and all the legs appeared, he might have loved her, but he couldn't be sure. Till he chased the ones that were the tannest, and he took all that he could find. And I used to sit and talk to him sometimes. And I asked him once what made him change his mind. He told me when the Mississippi sun shines down on you, brother, it'll change your opinion on love. You can try for sure, but one way or another, it'll change your opinion on love. Well, he changed his mind by the very next fall, and they asked her and they reconciled. And he said he didn't want to waste time at all, so they married and they had a child. He told her that he'd stay forever, and he loved her every chance he got. And he said a lot of things that he later on forgot. And he wanted her to be things that she was not. Oh, when you're tied to one and the preacher says, brother, it'll have to be enough. Get tired of one, and one way or another, it'll change your opinion on love. Well, he was scared to leave when his luck went down, but he knew that he could not stay. So he found him a job working out of town, and he's put on that all bad way. And he told him that he'd stay forever, and he loved her every chance he gets. And he says a lot of things that I hope he won't forget. But he knows a lot of things he hasn't remembered yet. Oh, and when you're sitting in the shade thinking you got it made, and you swear that you are in love, hold on for a second, 'cause anything I reckon will change your opinion on love. Don't be swearing on the Bible, 'cause anything's liable to change your opinion on love.
Oh, it's been a while. You did good. It's been a while. We recorded this next song. It's a Mac song back in 1995. And we thought we did a pretty good job, and we just kind of sat there until about 10 years later, and Kenny Chesney had a #1 hit with that song. We're happy for him. We did it first. Great song, Down the Road.
When I was a boy, 4 houses down from me lived a family with an only child. She was the only girl in this whole world that can make me smile. Down the road, I made up reasons to go down the road. Somewhere inside of me there was something she took a liking to. I asked her to marry me. She said she really wanted to. Down the road, see what life's gonna hold. Down the road, her mama wants to know, am I washed in the blood or just in the water? Her daddy wants to know if I make enough to take his daughter down the road, for he can let her go down the road.
baby girl says she believes that he is the only one down the road. And Mama wants to know, is he washed in the blood or just in the water? And I want to know that he makes enough to take my daughter down the road. When it comes time to go down the road, down the road, you know I want to help her go down the road, down the road.
Thank you.
Thanks. Boys, gonna take a little break now. I'm gonna sit down here on this here stool. That's a beautiful stool, thanks. You want me to play the piano? I don't. All right then. Oh, this isn't gonna work. So we're dusting off a bunch of good old songs that we haven't done in a long time. This is one that I've always liked. Mac says that it's one of the only cheating songs that he ever wrote, because he said in Nashville that's just such a big market. that She plans adventure, feeling sure. Wait a minute. It's so loud. Take that down just a little bit. I can't play that good. She likes adventure with security. More than one man can provide. She plans adventure, feeling sure that he won't be home till after 5. He turned on the lights and turned them off again. Said the one thing he could say all these years, where have I been? I've been down the road to work and home again. I'm still here until I'm gone. Don't you rub it in too hard that I've been wrong all these years. She said, you're not the man you used to be. I said, neither is this guy. She sings, there's just you refuse to see. I guess sometimes so do I. She made no excuse why she was lying there. She said the one thing she could say all these years, what have I done? I made your supper and your daughter and your son. I'm still here, I'm still confused, but I can finally see just what I stand to lose all these years. Ooh, I'm still here, still confused, but I can finally see just what I stand to lose all these years. holiday song, and then we're going to move on this little musical journey. Hell of a trip.
We recorded this one too back in
95 is what I'm saying.
95. We did a concert at the Roswell Auditorium.
Yo.
And we recorded this one, and I don't think we've done it since.
This might be the first time. John, how you doing? All right, here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
A little boy walked into a diner where his mama cleans up at night. And as she walked out from the kitchen, she could tell something wasn't right. He said, Mama, I got a problem, and I really want to talk to you. He said, I love this girl, but we're fighting all the time, and I don't know what to do. And Mama said, take it easy when it gets too hard. Make it hard if it don't seem hard enough. And don't you worry, child, unless it make you feel better. That's all I know about love. Now the man in the next booth over, a psychoanalyst by trade, he took and wrote down on a napkin what the cleaning lady said. And now he's up on all the talk shows. He's got the books and the videotapes, and he says for a lot more money than a cleaning lady makes. He said, take it easy when it gets too hard. Make it hard if it don't seem hard enough. And don't you worry, child, unless it make you feel better. That's all I know about love. Some people go to great expense to see what they ought to be. I believe a little common sense is gonna trickle down eventually if you take it easy when it gets too hard. Make it hard if it don't seem hard enough. And don't you worry, child, unless it makes you feel better. That's all I know about love. Take it easy, make it hard. And don't you worry, child, unless it make you feel better. That's all I know about love. Take it, take it. And don't you worry, child, unless it make you feel better. That's all I know about love. I know about, that's all I know about love. All right. Chuck Shane, we're going to turn over to you right now. We'll be right back in about 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere, please.
All right, so what are we doing?
All right, well, Charlie got a little something he wants to say.
There's a little costume change coming on right now. You know, if you know these boys the way I know them, you know that that's like a really weird thing. But they're going to do it, and they're going to do it fast. And we got to thank Susan and James and Douglas and Robert and Cindy and Christopher and Arlene and Adam and Jeffrey for all putting money in the tip jar there on the online thing. Thank y'all so much. Don't forget, Perfectly Imperfect. The record is available. What an appropriate name, but it is available right there in the lobby. And 2 Christmas shows on December the 18th, which is a Friday, 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock. And they're going to be back, and they'll be singing Christmas songs. And I think that actually every person that is in my family, except me and my wife, will be singing that night. So my children, our children all sing and perform, and they're great, and they're wonderful. And they'll be with Banks and Shane on Friday, December the 18th. 2 shows, 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Hey, boys.
Hey, Eddie, I got a few things to say here before the guys come out, if that's okay.
Yeah, you go. I'm gonna turn off. All right, y'all
right.
give a nice welcome to Chuckles.
All right, hey everybody. So this is the part of the show where Banks and Shane and Jim magically turn into the Kingston Trio. And it's the part of the show where I magically turn into the bass player. So anyway, I actually asked the guys, would it be okay if I sang on a few of these trio songs? They all said, it's the Kingston Trio, not the Kingston 4-0, Chuck. So I said, okay, great. I don't think 4-0 is even a word. But anyway, I have to read a disclaimer. They're so anxious, they can't wait to get out here, but I'm not finished yet, so they're going to just have to bear with me. So anyway, this show, these guys are so good, so amazing, that I have to read a legal disclaimer. And it goes as follows. These gentlemen you're about to see are not the Kingston Trio. However, they did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. Is that joke still relevant?
Oh, Charlie, it's great.
Okay. Anyway, my job's not as demanding, so I stayed in a van down by the river last night, and I'm totally ready for this bass playing for folk music. So, anyway, without further ado, please welcome Banks, Shane, and Jim, and their tribute to the Kingston Trio.
Thank you, Chuck Shane. That was a wonderful. Charlie, let's hear it for Chuck.
Yeah, Chuck Shane. Chuck Shane.
Thank you.
He's more than a bass player.
That's awesome.
A lot more.
And so from this point on, my microphone will be turned off.
Oh, no.
Kind of like the presidential debate, the second one. So that's all I have to say. Enjoy.
Cut him off, Shalom.
All right. Okay, Jimmy, you start.
Which one were you?
The first. Just like we rehearsed it.
We're coming from the mountain, crossing over the plain. It's off to California, then back again to Maine. Singing a song that you all know, and let your voices go. We'll sing it out, my brothers, wherever we may go.
We've traveled here, we've traveled there, we've traveled everywhere. We always love to play, especially at the Red Clay.
Here we meet the chorus, here we go. We're coming from the mountain, crossing over the plain. It's off to California, then back again to Maine. Singing a song that you all know, and let your voices go. We'll sing it out, my brothers, wherever we may go. The folk who has a banjo, because it's really in. I'll let you hear my banjo ringing when I learn to play the thing. Now repeat the chorus, here we go. We're coming from the mountain, crossing over the plains. It's off to California, then back again to Maine. Singing a song that you all know, and let your voices go. We'll sing it out, my brothers, wherever we may go. The days of Davy Crockett, who died at the Alamo. We heard them say when they attacked, they were fine at the dance last night. Now repeat the chorus, here we go. We're coming from the mountain, crossing over the plains. It's off to California, and back again to Maine. Singing a song that you all know, and let your voices go. We'll sing it out, my brother, wherever we may. Coming from the mountain, crossing over the plain. It's off to California, then back again to Maine. Singing a song that you all know, and let your voices go. We'll sing it out, my brothers, wherever we may go. This goes out to John Kelly, our old friend.
Yes, indeed. John.
Well, let me tell you a story about a man named Charlie on that tragic and fateful day. He put 10 cents in his pocket, kissed his wife and family, went to ride on the MTA.
Well, did he ever return? No, he never returned. And his fate is still unknown. What a pity. He may ride forever neath the streets of Boston. He's a man who never returned. Charlie handed in his dime at the Ghetto Square station. Change for Jamaica plane. When he got there, the conductor told him one more nickel. Charlie couldn't get off of that train. Well, did he ever return? No, he never returned. And his fate is still unknown. What a pity. He may ride forever neath the streets of Boston. He's the man who never returned. Now all night long, Charlie went through that station crying, what will become of me? How can I afford to see my sister in Chelsea or my cousin in Roxbury? Well, did he ever return? No, he never returned. And his fate is still unknown. He may ride forever neath the streets of Boston. He's the man who never returned.
Well, Charlie's wife goes down to the Scully Square station every day at 2:15.
Hi, Mom.
And through the open window, she has Charlie a sandwich as the train comes a rumbling through.
Did he ever return? No, he never returned. And his fate is still unlearned. He may ride forever neath the streets of Boston. He's the man who never returned.
Banjo!
Now you citizens of Boston, don't you think it's a scandal how the people have to pay and pay?
Yeah!
Fight the fare increase, vote for George O'Brien and get Charlie out of the MTA.
Or else he'll never return. You know, the poor guy, he's stuck on this train. I know the train's going to go all the way down the line. You know, I don't know why he just didn't
That's all give it a time.
get off on the north
I don't think she wants to come home. That's a healthy situation. Well, did he ever return? No, he never returned. And his fate is still unlearned. He may ride forever neath the streets of Boston. He's a man who never returned. He's the man who never returned. He's the man who never returned. Head to Charlie.
All right, we had a request for this one too. Morgan and Mary Martha, where are y'all? Can't see you. Hi. Asked for this, and this is a great Kingston Trio song written by John Stewart. John Stewart, you know, took Dave Guard's place, but he was with the trio a long time. And then he quit the trio because he got tired of the striped shirts and the same damn songs over and over again, just like we did. But he also wrote, you may not know this, but he also wrote Daydream Believer. John Stewart, the Kingston Trio guy. Unbelievable. All right. Yeah, this is one of our favorites.
I'm going where them chilly winds don't blow. Gonna find a true love, that is where I want to go. Out where them chilly winds don't blow.
Sing you a song, sing it soft and low. Sing it for your baby
and then I'll have to go
out where them chilly winds don't blow.
I wish I were a headlight on a westbound train. I'd shine my light on cool Colorado range,
Out where them chilly winds don't blow. I'm going where them chilly winds don't blow. Gonna find a true love, that is where I want to go. Out where them chilly winds don't blow. If you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling low, remember that I loved you more than you will ever know. Out where them chilly winds don't blow. I'm leaving in the springtime, won't be back till fall. If I can forget you, I may not come back at all. Out where them chilly winds don't blow. I'm going where them chilly winds don't blow. Gonna find a true love, that is where I want to go. Out where them chilly winds don't blow. Out where them chilly winds don't blow. Out where them chilly winds don't blow.
All right, we're going to do maybe a couple more of their songs. Our show is running long. Hope you don't mind. He really did turn your mic off.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Be okay if I wore a striped shirt?
I don't think that'd be appropriate.
No. I don't think so.
Fine.
Turn his mic back off. That's enough, Charlie. Chuck Shane joined our little band in the summer of 1974. We were booked out in Evergreen, Colorado, and played this bar called the Little Bear. It's still there. And it was it was one of those places that you really did need the chicken wire in front of the stage. And it was Paul and me, and we had a bass player, and he got, I guess, tired of it and left, like on a Friday afternoon.
We drove to Colorado, and we didn't really have a job after that. So he was feeling kind of insecure, I think.
And so Chuck was traveling with Paul at the time. It was after his freshman year of college. He was 19 years old. And he said, I've always kind of wanted to play bass. And so he went down to Denver and bought a bass and an amp and listened to some tapes and stuff. And the next night, he was part of the band. And that was, yes, sirree. That was 40-something
We've all passed a lot of water since then.
Yes, sir. Anyway, here we go.
Earn while you learn.
Throughout history, there have been many songs. We're running late. This is one of them.
Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Hang down your head and cry. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Oh boy, you're bound to cry. I met her on the mountain. There I took her life. Met her on the mountain. Stabbed her with my knife.
I've been in Tennessee. Well, now, boy,
Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Hang down your head and cry. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Oh boy, you're bound to die. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Hang down your head and cry. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Oh boy, you're bound to die.
this time tomorrow, I reckon where I'll be, down in some lonesome valley, hanging from a white oak tree. Your turn, let's hear it now. Hang down your head, Tom. Poor boy, Owen.
Oh boy, you're bound to die.
Oh, well, now, boy,
Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Hang down your head and cry.
boy, oh, well,
Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Oh boy, you're bound to die. Oh boy, you're bound to die. Oh boy, you're bound to die.
oh, boy, you're bound to die.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right.
All right.
Thank you very much. In fact, I guess Eddie told us earlier that John and Virginia McCleskey were watching. John was our general manager at Banks and Shane's, both in Sandy Springs and in Underground. And we used to close every show with this song that we stole from the Kingston Trio. And it was always the last song. And so there were a lot of nights when it had been kind of hectic and busy in the kitchen, and things didn't go quite as well as John had hoped. And this would be right about halfway through our first show, about 9:30 or so, and we would say, what would y'all like to hear? And from the back of the room, we would hear, California! And it was John, our manager, who kind of wanted to shut things down.
Get out of here. Get out. Yeah.
But anyway, this is one of our all-time favorites. Thank y'all so very much.
Yeah,
for
y'all are
being
great
here
to
with
come
us.
out tonight.
We,
Appreciate it.
yeah, thanks to Eddie and Corey and Shalom and all of y'all here at
Chuck
the Red
and Jim.
Club. Yes, Jim Duran, Chuck Shane. And don't forget our Christmas show, December 18. There are two shows. There's a matinee at 3 and another show at 8. And it'll be streamed, but we would love it if y'all would be here with us. So December 18. Thank y'all so very much. And everyone, stay safe, and we sure appreciate y'all. Tickets are... who is
Tickets
that?
are available.
Who is that? Oh, sir?
Tickets are available to purchase.
Okay, sit down.
And also, our new CD set is
Yes.
out there if you're interested in that.
We
Perfectly
have-
Imperfect.
It is a rare collector's item for sure. We've collected several thousand at this point, and we'd love nothing more than to share them with you.
Brand
Thank y'all
new.
again. We appreciate you. And all of y'all out there watching tonight. Well, no matter where I wander, I know I'll always find a well. At the end of every journey, there'll be friendly people waiting. California could not hold me, though I love her timber mountains. Work her fields and work her orchard, up and down her central valley. I have driven golden highways
Folks who know me call me a drifter. They don't know I'll stop my rambling. They don't know that someday somebody's gonna make me settle down.
I'm going home,
That's you,
Lord.
Vicky.
I'm going home. I'm going home, Lord. I'm going home. Well, no matter where I wander, I know I'll always find a welcome at the end of every journey. There'll be friendly people waiting. California could not hold me, though I love her timbered mountain. Worked her fields and worked her orchards, up and down her central valley. I'm going home. Thanks, everybody. Good night. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend.